judge. And Tom Jones is leading tributes to songwriter Les Reed, who's died at the age of 83. The pair wrote It's Not Unusual and Delilah together. That's the latest. I'm Will Rowe.
Radio Winchcombe is sponsored today by Irely Hardy Plant Nursery, Broadway Road, Winchcombe, near the railway bridge, at the back of the Pottery. Phone 604 160.
Do you need new windows, or maybe you're thinking about a new conservatory? We at Canal Joinery are a Winchcombe-based joinery manufacturer, producing bespoke joinery, including windows, doors, conservatories and stairs. Almost anything made out of wood. Why not call us at Canal Joinery, where we can advise, design, measure, manufacture and install to current building regulations, or simply supply only. Canal Joinery also offer free estimates, so why not give us a call now on 01242 620 135.
For over 2 years, Wednesday mornings have never been the same. Hi, this is Alan Reed reminding you not to miss the Almost Halfway There show. It's a bit daft, but it's got drama, pathos, music, trivia, and a whole lot more to brighten up your morning. That's the Almost Halfway There show with me, Alan Reed, every Wednesday morning from 10 a.m. to midday, only on Radio Winchcombe 107.1 FM in the local area and around the world online.
On 107.1 FM and online, this is Radio Winchcombe.
Hello and welcome again to Focus. This week we're going to talk to Paul Masek, who runs both the Tile Barn and Redbrook Kitchens. We want to talk really about the big fire, which many of you will remember, out on the road just beyond Greet, I suppose is the way to put it, isn't it? I don't know what your postal address would be, Paul, actually.
Well, actually, Toddington.
Is it
yes,
you're actually closer to Toddington?
Where's the Toddington postcode?
Right.
Yeah.
But you're actually sort of halfway, really.
But it's Park
here
Farm
and there, aren't you?
Park Farm, Evesham Road.
Exactly. So, first of all, of course, welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have an opportunity to chat. We thought it would be very nice just to talk about what happens when a major event like that occurs, where effectively you presumably lost all the equipment and all the stuff that was being worked on, or did you manage to rescue a bit of it?
It was devastating for virtually all of our machinery, all of our showrooms. Yeah. We were pretty much, we were totally wiped out.
Yes.
Some of the others were, anybody in that block was totally wiped out, really.
Yeah.
So we had nothing to go, nowhere to go, really.
Apparently it happened sort of just as the weekend was beginning. Not the best time for that kind of thing to happen either, is it, really? What caused it, and do they know?
They don't know what caused it. They've sort of, the forensics people have looked into it, and they really don't know.
Right, that happens, I guess.
The candidates were a fridge, or a battery charger, that sort of thing. It could have been so many things.
Yes.
In a place full of tools.
It's amazing what can do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. I was mentioning to you before the programme a place down in Cheltenham called the Park House.
Yeah.
And in fact, the lady who owns that house had a very expensive piano there. It was moved into the middle of the road because they were doing work around the edge on changing the wallpaper, and they left the light on, which is a chandelier. One bulb only broke, actually exploded, it must have done.
Gosh.
Warm, hot bits fell down onto the piano, and it was covered, of course, which was good generally because, of course, it was a bit dusty.
Yeah.
As it turned out, of course, it probably was much worse what happened to the piano as a result of that. And just a bulb going. Okay, they had the chandelier had been left on longer than it perhaps should have been, but it should still be all right. You don't expect that kind of thing to be a problem. So it can be amazing, isn't it, how little things can cause it, and we all have to be aware of that in our own homes as well.
We all put up with and try and adhere to in detail the health and safety regulations everywhere. But when something like that can happen, it's
a genuine act of God, maybe, or
act of God, probably,
fate. Anyway, that's for sure. Absolutely, yeah. So, perhaps it's worth just sort of saying how you heard about all this. What was the inkling you had?
The landlord rang me up. I was having my tea, getting ready for the weekend to relax and stuff, and So I shot, and he said the place is on fire, so I shot over there. There were 9 fire appliances
already
there. Well, they ended up 9. There were about 5 or 6 when I first got there, and they were already in full flight. The place was really in full.
So no chance of getting
because
out. Really.
We work with timber and timber-based materials.
Sure.
It's a tinderbox, the whole place, and it's in the dry.
The wood itself, it's presumably varnish and all those things.
Varnish as well. We use water-based varnish, but even that will burn if it's hot enough.
I guess.
It was. I snuck behind one of the fire engines halfway through. I possibly shouldn't have done, but and then I had a look right in the middle, and gosh, the emptiness inside. Well, I just saw my last 25 years of my life just in flames like that. Was
terrible. Yeah, absolutely.
Just sort of mesmerised.
Did your staff come out as well, or did they came out? No, in fact, at the time
they came out the following day, and we did a bit of clearing up. But then we can't do too much clearing up because of the
because you can't, can you?
The insurance company.
Yeah, of course.
The insurance company were great. They were there the very next day.
Right.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Yeah, that's good, because I mean something like that. Obviously, you need to get something moving fast, don't you, really, Scott?
Well,
you have all sorts of things ongoing, basically.
The fire was on the 2nd of December, and by the middle to the end of January, we had a fully functioning operation.
Yeah.
We never stopped functioning because the generosity of the people of Winchcombe and the local businesses that we know and our customers, because of all of that, we never stopped working. We borrowed people's workshops to do a bit of this and a bit of that.
That's amazing.
And our schedule was all on time.
Right.
You know.
That's amazing, because of course, yes, you had ongoing work for people.
Yeah. I mean, the
people
NFU
wanted their kitchens for Christmas, probably, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
The NFU gave us the money quickly to allow this to happen.
Yes.
We didn't have to wrestle with them.
That's very good.
But it was brilliant. Yeah, really.
Because that could be the problem, couldn't it? I mean, these things often take time.
Well, people go out of business that quickly.
Yeah. You've got cash flow, and that doesn't stop. And you've got income, which is not income if
it doesn't stop going out.
The goods. Absolutely. I think it'd be quite nice if there's anyone you want to thank on that. Anybody who helped. I think that would be rather nice to acknowledge that, actually.
Well, there's so many people. I mean, the landlords at Park Farm, Graham and John Morrison, were so helpful. Snowy at ALS Controls, he let us store stuff in his unit because he hadn't quite moved in, so he was fantastic. Snowy and Andrew.
Right.
The guys that worked for me were fantastic. They just knuckled down. That was Jason, Paddy, and Pat.
Right.
We just
they were spread all over the place.
We were spread all over the place. I mean, thank goodness for mobile phones. It's when you really need them, they're good. Yeah.
And presumably also, I mean, people would have had your mobile number anyway, would they? So, because obviously you'd lose your office phone, wouldn't you, as well? I mean,
so we had that redirected very quickly. We had that redirected.
Because this is all the sort of stuff that people have to think about, isn't it? But we don't really. I mean, I'm very aware of it because I was once running a company in Hong Kong, actually, and the next door office and warehouse had a fire.
Yeah.
We only had water damage and smoke damage, but I mean, even that was a major thing. You know, what do we do now? How can we save any of the stock, maybe, or can we not? Is it all so wet that it
right? Yeah.
And they were books, so you can imagine.
Water can do just as much damage as the floods.
This is the trouble, isn't it? People are very aware of that, actually, and certainly if they aren't, should be. So another good reason for not having a domestic fire, if you could possibly avoid it. So, how did you feel? I mean, obviously you did what I suspect most people do, but not everybody, which is to just concentrate on getting things done. You can't think about the trouble. You've just got to really think about, okay, what can I do? And that keeps you busy. And that means you can't think about it too much, which is not a bad thing, really.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way that people work through any kind of tragedy, is they just work through it, literally.
Yes.
And that's pretty much what we did.
Yeah.
I mean, within all the work, there's long journeys to go and source new machinery and that sort of thing.
Yes.
You can't help thinking about things.
Yeah.
you know, I had choices. I could have not started up again, but I had people that have worked with me for all of their working lives, and I wasn't about to let them down.
Right, no, you were saying beforehand that, you know, you probably could have retired, but you didn't want to for all sorts of reasons, really.
Quite like to have retired. but no, I mean, I take the people that work with me very seriously, and I wouldn't let them down.
Yeah. And they didn't let you down.
They didn't let me down at all. No,
the team is a very important thing.
It is.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you then had to look, as you say, for bits of places to be, but also presumably equipment was a problem. You know, however quickly you tried to source it, it wouldn't arrive the next day, would it, at all? What you were saying was perhaps just to say, you were saying that, in fact, the insurance was so good that you actually had money available pretty quickly.
Immediately, yeah. We bought machinery straight away. I think we bought a lot of it before Christmas.
Right.
And it was delivered straight after Christmas.
Right.
It was quick. I mean, I did have to travel a lot and get it, but
sure.
In woodworking machinery, there's a lot of second-hand machinery on the market. Some of the machines are not as good as we had. Most of them are probably slightly better than we had.
Yes.
But you know, we've put up with an awful lot. So we've got some bonuses and some minuses, but. We've got a smaller factory.
Wait for it, and that's terrific. Yeah,
exactly.
And similarly, accommodation. Presumably, you were able to. I mean, how much of that were you borrowing, and how much did you have to start paying something on immediately in terms of rent?
The rent was a little bit more than it was before. I mean, the old Park Farm building was brilliant. It leaked like a sieve, but it was huge and airy, and it suited me anyway.
Yes.
But the new place it was quite nice moving into a nice posh new building, and we hope to move back to where we were in Park Farm on our old corner. And the landlord said he'd be delighted if we could and would. So we're trying very hard to do that.
So you moved into it's actually in Toddington, your main workshop.
On the Orchard Industrial Estate at Toddington.
That's one just the other side of the main road.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
on the right, as it were, sort of as you go across.
That's
towards
right.
Sedgemoor.
Yes.
So yes, and you were able to get access to that pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, it was I leapt on it when I knew it was available.
Yes.
It was the only one within miles and miles that was anywhere near big enough for us. That I was aware of, and that was a bit lucky. Yeah. But
so you were in there by the beginning of January, more or less, and with equipment.
We were there in January. We started there in January, and we'd established before that's what was going to happen, and hands were shaken. So that was good.
Right. And what about things like paperwork and so on? I mean, now presumably it's all on computer. It doesn't have to be a soft copy. I mean, that must, again, you have orders. Who were the people? You knew some of them anyway.
We had all the current orders on computer file because Paddy, who works with me, is brilliant on the computers, and he does these kitchen drawings, perspectives and things.
Oh, he does all that.
Looks like a photograph by the time he's finished with it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Generated graphics, yes.
Yeah. But he does all of that, and he keeps everything on his computer. Just have to keep buying bigger and bigger computers to
I can imagine.
all of the information. But no.
But that computer was off-site, or was it on-site?
That was on-site, but a lot of it was still, a lot of it was on in the emails.
Yes.
Because the emails house an awful lot of information, so that's how we tracked most of it back.
Interesting.
I keep all of my stuff on emails.
Right. And you keep it in the cloud, as it were. You use one of Yahoo or one of those rather than yes. So because of course, not so long ago, all of that would have only been on your computer, wouldn't it?
Right.
So that was good reason.
That was wiped out. We had a lot of paperwork of all our old customers. I mean, I've got a reasonably good memory, but it's not that good to remember all the customers from 25 years. But the presentation varied from writing it by hand from typing it only recently.
Yes.
Because I used to do the drawings by hand, but now Paddy does them all. The presentation is so much better. But we did have everybody who was current, we lost everybody who was historic.
Yes.
But
So you had to sit down and sort of rack your brains.
But
and say,
we had a
who
lot
was
of
it?
loyal customers, and they have been so good to us, really have, and over the years, and they just keep coming back.
I guess quite a lot of them would actually have got in touch with you after the fire once they knew it had happened.
We had
terribly sorry and all of that.
We had quite a few calls. No, it was nice that people bothered to ring us up. It was quite touching, really.
And that was another way of just reminding you who they were, too, just in case. Though, as you say, 25 years is a long time to hold all your customers in.
But I had all the information.
Right.
I knew where it was. It took me a while to get it out, but I knew where it all was. But that's all gone.
So, but you've restored. I mean, at least you've got names and addresses now recorded.
Quite a few.
Most of them. That's a lot of them. Yeah. So what they say, of course, often is that you should always store copies of all stuff that's on the computer off-site. But in fact, of course, it probably would have been helpful, wouldn't it, a bit? It might have cost quite a lot. I don't know quite what the costs are on that. But the fact that you actually at least had your emails not stored there effectively was quite a big plus, and maybe reduces a bit now the need to have everything stored elsewhere
It does a bit, but 25 years ago there weren't any emails.
Well, that's true too.
I barely had a mobile phone, I think.
It was 1 foot long.
It was huge.
6 inches thick. Yes. Yes, I'm always very amused to see the early instalments of things like Friends, which have been going on a long time. They're holding this great brick in their hand. But yes. So yes, obviously it is a good idea to keep back up, isn't it? And did you have any, or did you not?
The emails. The emails were back.
That's backed up.
That was all the backup we had, really. And we were able to reclaim nearly everything. Nearly everything that was current.
Yes, and as you say, what probably wasn't on the computer anyway, so it wouldn't have been, unless you'd actually digitised it, which you wouldn't. It's not worth doing.
We're not allowed to do that half the time now, anyway.
So there we were, beginning of January, you were in Toddington, and you had most of your equipment arriving within the first month or so.
We had a factory full of machines within January.
And you had to learn how to use some of them, I suppose. A bit, in the sense that they would work a little differently from the ones you already had.
Well, Jason, who's been with me for the last 25 years now, he's much better at it than I am. He understands all these machines, and he knew how to use them pretty much.
He did. So really, there was very little that you had to retrain on, as it were.
No, we don't have computer controlled machines particularly. There's some elements of that in the machines we use, but nothing too serious. It just needs the flexibility. We're a small company, so we have the flexibility to turn our hands to many different things.
That's a big plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. If people aren't tied to one very specific specialisation, they can actually lend a hand to anything, I guess. Probably.
We prefer making the kitchens and the bedrooms, but we can also act like some of our competitors that actually buy them in.
Yes.
And I think most of the kitchen studios in the country would buy them in. It's not that there are many manufacturers, but they probably manufacture from these other people, But, but we do a bit of both.
Yeah, and that helps, of course, when you're going to set up again, of course.
Yes, it's
some
nicer.
of your suppliers are already in place, and you can just say, please deliver now to Toddington.
Exactly.
Very sorry, but yes.
No, it's nice to be able to make everything, and when there's a special size or we need a special strip or a special anything, we just go to the workshop and make it.
Right.
Gives us an edge.
It comes in, isn't it?
It gives us the edge over.
And if you can slot something in, why not?
Yeah, quite.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we try and do. Buildings are always not a friendly shape in order to do that.
And the older they are, I know from our own house, the more that's true, isn't it? No two walls are at right angles. And
I tell you what, it's actually easier when it's really when it's well out.
Yes.
When it's slightly out, it's a bit more difficult sometimes.
I guess you could make assumptions that are
quite
true. Yes. There are a lot of old houses around this area, and I'm sure a lot of people who are looking to get new kitchens will be in older buildings too. So,
Right.
So really. if you were able to get down to things quickly, and luckily had a staff who would do that with
The key
was less of a traumatic experience.
machinery off one supplier who had
Equipment in place, you had a place,
it's a good deal on all of those.
money to pay for,
So you can get a deal off them, but
and that wouldn't always happen, I would guess.
it's the money. But it is just working hard. I bought who had exactly what we wanted, claiming a deal on all of those machines. Obviously, the more you bill the insurance company, a lot of work.
Yes.
And trying to remember what you've lost.
Yeah.
It sounds easy, but it's not.
No, I mean, I know that from experience. You know, that there are little things. that you
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
Oh, God, yes, I didn't even mention that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were insured up to a certain amount anyway, so there's no point in going into too much detail.
No,
but
no.
as long as you just...
I guess it's everything items, really.
But I won't deny it was exciting to sort of start all over again, and
Yes.
we were getting paid for it. We paid our insurance premiums, obviously, but
Yes.
you know. So, but at the end of the day, it was quite exciting. But I'd rather it hadn't happened. I must
I
admit.
can imagine that.
Because the year before, the year ending 2nd of December 2017 was one of the best years we'd ever had.
Right.
We would really, we had a bit of a
work
dip,
year
and we're
to
coming
year,
back.
in fact, exactly. Do you use the calendar year as your accounting year, or because that would, of course, because
I
there would be a bit of a disruption just at the wrong moment, I guess, if that was the case.
Our accountant can get around those things. I think each company's got a different accounting year. I am not sure, but no, it's opened up new doors and shown and
It's sort of
made others.
a lot of, I mean, it's an ill wind that blows nobody any good, as they say.
Yeah,
And I guess it was publicity. I mean, and they always say that no publicity is bad publicity, I guess.
Well, this is the first time we've ever really become public about it.
Yes.
Apart from a little article in
But
Cotswold
people
Life.
were aware, and probably very sympathetic too. You know, so you've got sort of good publicity that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Holmes let us use his workshop to produce the entire kitchen. Some of his machines we weren't that familiar with, so he had to help us and teach us how to use them.
And he did, which is nice.
Yeah, he did. He was superb. Yeah, really good. He even renovated one of the machines for us, which was nice.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, but no, he's great because the two machines were just about rescuable, but you've got to be very confident that it's going to be okay.
Well,
you know, and it was fun.
I mean, the heat that's generated in those funnels is extraordinary, isn't it? Actually, so
Yeah.
you know, one can
It
imagine
actually-
just get bent a little bit.
The fire had flashed over before, or just flashing over as the fire appliances arrived.
Right.
And once that happens, because that, I believe, is the dust that's there actually igniting all the smoke. But that, you can't.
Flashover is the thing that all fire people really dread, isn't it? That's the
Don't open the door.
Yes, yes, which is of course what you think of doing to see. Just see how things are in there. Is it bad? If it wasn't, it then is.
No. A friend of mine was keeping his van in there because he was frightened of it getting burgled. So as soon as we got there, we got straight in there and got his van out.
Oh, you did get the van out. That was good. Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah, no, I've got a little Land Rover in there as well, so I got that out.
Right.
But, it's...
yes, that was very helpful for the immediate future after that. Yeah. So, and of course, the other thing, of course, is it was a showroom. It wasn't just a warehouse and a bit of presumably warehouse only a bit, because imagine you tend to get stuff out more or less as soon as
it was
you
a bit of a warehouse.
Yeah.
2/3 of that sort of area was the showroom.
Right.
It was quite a big showroom, and we just finished refurbishing the two parts of it. Because we were giving up one part because it was a bit too big, but it certainly, we just finished it and it looked superb.
That's sad, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. No, we were continually looking to improve this, that, and the other.
Yes, of course.
And be more effective. Just styles change a little bit, but not much really.
Do they really? I mean, yes, if you look 40 years ago, that's a tired kitchen, you say. But yes, over
the last
shorter period,
10 years, we're still our best kitchen is still the shaker style kitchen, with or without a front frame round it. It's a beautiful
which people
design
like and fits well into older buildings.
Absolutely. You put a modern handle on it, it looks modern. But, you know, it's great. It's very flexible design.
Yeah. So was there a room to do that out at Toddington, or was there not? And I think you haven't done that, have you? You've gone elsewhere for your showroom. Or do you? We have got a little showroom, right,
down in Toddington, around an old Arga of ours, Woodburn in Arga. But the main showroom is now on the corner of Vineyard Street and Abbey Terrace.
Right, that's what used to be the little letting shop.
The little letting shop and the Cotswold Lettings, because they had it and we had our ear to the ground all the time, especially with the situation we were in, and a lady called Carol gave us the nod that they were wanting to move to North Street.
That's
and they think they might have found somewhere. So they moved to North Street, and he assigned the lease over to me for the other one, which is really good.
How long did that take to happen? Did it
that was about I think it was about 7 or 8 months,
right,
to get that before we could start on that. We opened the showroom on late night shopping at Christmas.
Oh right, yes,
which was
so that's actually
good.
A year, isn't it, more or less?
Pretty much.
From
pretty much.
But presumably you had quite a lot of sort of forward orders to fill up in the meantime, so that the lack of a showroom wouldn't have been quite so important.
That's what I was meaning about loyal customers. They just keep coming back to us, and we kept doing it. Yeah, we kept doing it. I mean, most of our orders are through existing customers, friends of friends, word of mouth. Really.
Yeah, very important.
But you do need to have a showroom, one, to convert those orders.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell fibs. We lost quite a few orders to our competitors.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't show bathrooms anywhere near as well as we used to in the old showroom.
Yeah.
Our tile business, the tile barn, is suffering quite a bit. We've got a load of tiles in the middle of the industrial estate in Toddington, Orchard Industrial Estate, but there's a few in the showroom, some of the more smaller tiles, and some stone in the showroom in Winchcombe.
Right.
But there's not enough room to show it all because it was huge.
Can really imagine. The picture doesn't do it, does it? Really, you need to go in.
You need to touchy-feely the tile, and a picture helps.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
But in our old showroom, we put up so many displays with some really quite cool-looking ideas, because there's some nice ideas in tiles at the moment, no, you can't. You've got to show people it on the wall.
Right. And that you will be able to do when you move back into the old premises.
Yes, we've got plans.
The space of the old premises.
Exactly. No, it'll be exactly on the corner.
Yeah.
We won't have quite as much, but we hope to have a bit of a showroom upstairs eventually. But the factory should be. It won't be as big as we had originally, but it'll be slightly bigger than we've got now. But. This is something we're trying really, really hard to pull off, and need a bit of luck to get it to work.
Well, good luck on that. So,
no, thank you.
I think it's important, and I mean everyone would like to see you, I'm sure, back in your old premises, because there was a lot of sympathy, I think, for what happened.
Absolutely. The people are so kind to us. Just the locals making comments about we're keeping me abreast of when you do this, when you do that. There's a show, like Carol was saying, there's a showroom available.
Yes.
It's just keeping your ear to the ground and talking to people, which is why I fell in love with Winchcombe in the first place.
Well, I think Winchcombe is a bit like that, isn't it? It's got more of a community spirit than most places of its size, I think. Well, I don't know, maybe the small places have a better community spirit. We're all maybe a bit big for being,
but it's
not a village, but we are.
It's a town full of real people.
Yes.
It's a beautiful town. There's some beautiful buildings, but also there's real working people.
That's the nice thing, isn't it? I think everybody says that, don't they? Winchcombe does have visitors. We're very pleased to have visitors. Nice that they come, and we need them for business and for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But we're not overwhelmed.
No.
Not like
no.
a certain place just down the road. For example.
Broadway.
Oh well, exactly. You might think that. I can't possibly comment. But yes,
Broadway's a beautiful place.
Oh, it is beautiful, and at least it's Broad Avenue, which is something. I mean, we of course would be be really totally overwhelmed with our little narrow streets in the middle, wouldn't we? So,
but this Gloucester Street's a nightmare.
It is
for most things, for most anything over with it has more than four wheels.
Yes. Just needs a bus and a large truck going up to the paperwork. And you have a problem. Yes, but it is a nice little place, and I mean everybody finds that if they come here that there's a lot going on for its size, and people do. Everyone says if you go walk down the main street, so 2 main streets I suppose we have. You're almost certain to meet someone who you say good morning to. I was from Cheltenham, and I fell in love with my wife as a Winchcombe girl. Then I fell in love with Winchcombe because it is like that. And I've lived in London and Cheltenham, and I never experienced such friendliness in all my life. First time somebody said hello to me in the street, I thought to myself, who on earth's that? But somebody I met the previous evening in the Bell, I think it was. Yes, there's that too, isn't there?
But no, it's just everybody knows each other. I don't suppose they all like each other, but everybody knows each other, and the whole community works.
Yeah, it does, and gets involved with things, which is nice. And and obviously you were able to tap into that a little bit.
Yeah, I did, and we're trying to give a little back. There's a blues festival that we're giving some prizes to,
right?
And hopefully that'll be a success. But just little things like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that we ought to talk about before we stop?
Well, I think we've covered everything, and just like to thank everybody that helped us, because we probably wouldn't be here if we didn't have the amount of help that we did get.
Right. Yeah, we felt it was a story that we ought to tell, really, because it illustrates that people do rally around it here, and also shows basically people that if you do have a disaster, it's not a total disaster unless you let it be, I guess. I mean, there are people, I guess, who just give up in that situation. You clearly yourself didn't do that.
You just get your nose down and charge at it and get it done. You know what to do. I've been in business for 25 years, so I know what to do inside out. The people that work with me, they know what they've got to do.
That was good, isn't it, that you kept your
team? The team were behind me all the time, and we just cracked on and kept on going, don't stop.
Well, thank you very much for telling your story.
Thank you very much.
On 107.1 FM and online, this is Radio Winchcombe.
Take it up, baby. his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. gonna help you through the night.